Hello, I thought I would just do a quick progress update on the Not a DS because I did a video a couple of weeks ago basically questioning the car and why DVLA hadn't just given me a V5 like they were supposed to. And then it turned out the car had not a shady past, but there were some things in place that happened in the past and they might have conspired to make things more difficult for me at the moment. Well, this is not a long video and it won't be. This is not that. It's just a very quick catch up just to sort of say what the situation is with this car because it has evolved slightly and also just where I'm at with it before the repair videos recommence. So the first thing to point out is that the video you watched back in I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, the one where I said this one, I'm gonna do some editing, right? This one. You may well have watched that one and sort of, you know, had your own opinions and ideas and things like that. And all engagement is good. Of course it is. Most people watch this without even sort of saying anything, you know, like 33,000 views, which is a lot for me. Most of those people don't comment or anything. They could just be like phantom viewers. They could be like they could be famous people, like Hollywood actors, and it could be beautiful Hollywood actresses watching my videos on my old car. Kirsten Dunst could be watching. I like Kirsten Dunst. I always like Kirsten Dunst. Could be watching the videos on this car like you are, and you wouldn't know. No, there's an actress with one of these. I'm supposed to be talking about the car. Don't stop the video to Google it. I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to go and Google it. Rosamund Pike has one of these. I know, I follow her on Instagram. I don't actually think I've watched a film with her in, but she's got one of these. Anyway, right, so that's completely irrelevant. Yeah, the not a DS, the D Super5. So, well, first off, yeah, most people watched and didn't comment. That's fine. Some people did comment. Some people's comments are helpful. Some people's comments are a little bit insulting. In the way that some people have sort of like, well, if you search the reg number on DVLA, it says it's sawn. Yeah, it does. Because it's sawn. That's not going to tell you if it's stolen or not. It's not stolen. I know it's not stolen. You think I haven't HPI'd this? Basically, somebody tried to take it, but not seriously tried to take it, but someone did try and take ownership of it some years ago. So, and I think what's happened is DVLA have put a marker on the car for any future transfers or anything like that. And then they sent out the paperwork that I mentioned in the last video where they were like, is it modified? Has the shell been modified and stuff like this? And it's like, no. The only comments that some people have made, and I think they're going to be proved right on this, is that I shouldn't have tried to get the engine number changed at the same time as trying to sort out the identity of the car. Because that is going to add confusion and it may well bite me on the arse. Because obviously, if you don't go back and watch it, I'm not going to explain it all again. But yeah, I'm basically putting a different engine in this car because I bought this car with no engine in it. There's the engine for this car. It is a lump of rust because it's been sat in a damp barn. Go back and watch that. You see where things got left off. There have been developments. So I sent off the paperwork. I replied to DVLA with an email before I'd even put that video out. I'd already gone back to DVLA and done them. So it was no point saying, you should do this, you should do that. I'd done it. I've already done it. It was done before that video went live because these things don't happen in real time. This one is actually quite like you're probably going to watch this tomorrow, which is Wednesday, probably, possibly Thursday. And this is Tuesday. So this is quite up to date. So, yeah, don't worry about everything that happened. I replied to DVLA. I gave them all the info they wanted. I did forget to take a picture of the chassis number. And then I thought, well, I'm not going to now suddenly remember and send that to them because that looks dodgy, so I'm just going to leave it. I had nothing back. Nothing at all. So last week I sent them an email going, what the hell? I didn't quite say that, but I was basically like, well, like, are you going to reply? You know, you're just leaving me hanging here. What's going on? If you want more info, tell me. I'll get you more info. If you're going to give me a V5, give me the bloody V5. So, yeah, sent an email last week. And then today, I had a phone call from the previous owner who had had a letter from DVLA he's gonna kind of getting like PTSD here on this one. It was a little bit of what do you call it? Oh man, really? You're really gonna forget what that is? Oh my God, am I really going that? Am I really that scatty? The French phrase for when you've... I'm going to make you sit through this until I've done it. The French phrase for if you're doing something... Déjà vu. Got to stop it vibrating. Right, anyway, he was getting déjà vu because he's had this letter come through going, someone else is trying to register your car. Is this correct? And he's like, geez, I've been here before. Only this time it is correct because it was me. So they said, you can reply in writing and fill in all this, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, I have already done that. I sent you the V5, but whatever. Or you can do it online. So he did it online. He rang me, got the details again, did it online. It went through. They said, do you want an email confirmation of this? Yes. So it went through and everything. And then I got an email saying, you are now registered keeper, or we are processing your application to be registered keeper of this car, or you are. It's basically the green box that says it's done. So I thought, that's brilliant. That's really good. So I might be expecting a V5 anytime soon. And I was about to share this picture with the members and patrons and things. Go, look what's happened, look what's happened. And that was just going to be the end of that. And then my wife went home from her, well, where she goes every day. And there was a letter from DVLA and she said, oh, is this about your car? And I thought, well, it's probably not going to be, isn't it? It's not going to be about the mortgage. I said, well, open it, because it might be. It might be, I haven't sawn Hilda, because, you know, I forgot about it, to be honest, I forgot it exists. So I hadn't sawn that. I thought it might be that. It wasn't. It was about this. We need to inspect your car. You just said you're going to give me a V5. So they want to inspect the car. Okay, right, fine. That's fine. They employ third-party companies to inspect cars. It's not DVLA themselves. They'll employ an inspection company to come and have a look at the car. They've been here before. They've looked at other cars. It's fine. I know the drill. The only issue we have is that they normally want the cars complete. So I did say to them, right, I rang them up to book it. And I said, right, yeah, you can come and do it. I said, the only thing is, no, she said, is the car complete? And I said, well, it is like 95% complete. Because if you look at the sum of parts here, yes, the engine is there, but the sum of parts is about 95%. I said, the engine's on a pallet in front of the car. Oh, that's no good, she said. It's got to be in the car. Has it got to run? No, it hasn't got to run. It's just got to be complete. But it's there. It's less than a metre away. It's 2 metres, maybe 2 metres, 2.2 metres from where it's actually going to reside. And I can get a pallet truck and move it closer. No, that's not good enough. She said, but you're in the area you're in, you're under our other company or a subcontractor or something. I'll get them to call you anyway, because it's not us that will come to you, it'll be them. Right, okay, fine. So they ring me about half an hour later. They're all on it, these guys. They're all, you know, quick as you like. Another lady rings up and she says, we come and book the appointment on your car. I've actually got someone in the area tomorrow, which might have already happened by the time you watch this. And I said, right, yeah, okay, fine. You can do that, but only if you're happy that the engine is on a pallet in front of the car, because it's not in the car and it ain't going to be tomorrow. And she basically said, let me get back to you. It might be all right. I'll speak to my superior, effectively, because, like, I said to him, the engine number's on the engine. It's all there. It's all clear. You can see everything. It's blatantly obvious that it's going in there. It's all the parts are on a pallet together. The old engine with the old engine number is next to it, and it blatantly not going back in it. So it's kind of, everything checks out. It's all legit, but it might be a technicality thing. She may well come back to me tomorrow and say, no, we can't do it. That being the case, I've then got to try and get this in there, because I think there's a maximum time that I've got to do this. So basically that's where we're left at. It looks like it's all okay. It's moving. They just want to inspect the car. I've had them here to inspect cars before. I know the drill. I'm not worried. So basically that's where we're standing at the moment. It looks like it's moving through. It hasn't been cloned. It hasn't been stolen. It's not cut and shut. It's not a different shell. All these weird and wonderful. It's not some, like, it's not the DVLA trying to get the motorists off the road, or what other tinfoil bloody things were people saying? They want to force old cars off the road. If they wanted to force old cars off the road, why would they make them MOT exempt? Why would they make it easier to put an old car on the road that might not even be safe? Of course they're not trying to force old cars off the road. There's money in it. So, yeah, it's basically moving through. So we think we're okay now. And the plan is to try and get this thing to Rustival in August. That could be a tall order, couldn't it? So, yeah, that's basically where it's at. I'll quickly show you where I'm at mechanically, and you can see how far away Rustival is and how unlikely that is to happen. So basically, we've got a pallet of parts in front of the Not a DS. And this is what they're going to come and see tomorrow if they come down to see it, unless they say, no, it's got to be in the car, in which case it won't be tomorrow. And it doesn't matter what day tomorrow is because it's irrelevant to you anyway. God, I'm just rambling on, aren't I? It's almost like I'm trying to stretch it out, you know, for the watched hours. Yeah, shall I talk about Hollywood actresses? Oh, no, I've done that bit. So the engine here. So this is Clement's old engine, as you might remember Clement. If you don't, have to go back and look through the thing. I've put this car in the same playlist as Clement to make things easier. I have progressed on this, that there is a bit that's been done. So the flywheel that was on it is now down there, and that is pretty nasty, although the bearing inside is okay. The old clutch and everything down there. My clutch alignment tool, aka the input shaft, from the old gearbox is there. And this clutch here is put together out of the old parts that I basically found in the boxes that came with the car. And I mean, look at it. That's not very old, is it? That's after I've cleaned it. That's all I've done. I've just cleaned it. The fingers are almost flat, which is excellent. That means there is a lot of meat left on that pressure plate. I've replaced this seal. I bought them, so it's not an advert. I went to Simply Bearings and I bought a new rubber seal there, which is a double lip seal. And I bought a new bearing, which is down there. Oh, I can't zoom in because I'm on manual mode. I'm going to have to move. That bearing there is the one in there, which you're going to have to take my word for it, because I don't think I've got a torch on manual mode. Can you see it? No, well, tough luck. It's in there. You'll have to trust me. And then what I've got to do before I'm probably going to put the gearbox back on. I'm going to clean the inside of the bell housing, because that's all minging. It's been off the car a long time. Clean all that up, put that new release bearing in. And then I'm going to put the gearbox on the engine. So it's going to be taking the gearbox that came with the car. So it's probably the one that was fitted to this car. I have to be honest, a lot of the DS parts that have come with this thing are from different cars. I've just got a bundle of parts. So yeah, it might be the gearbox that was on it. I think it is. You know, it certainly looks like it. Looks like the right kind of spec. It's identical to the one that was on Clement, which is a proper D Super5 box. So yeah, I'm going to take a chance. That one's going on it. So yeah, that will go on here, and then before that gets lifted and plopped in there, just like that, behind this end plate here, you can just see on the end, this thing is fifth gear, and I've had a message from the man Roland over in America. Unlucky Roland, I would not want to be there at the moment. Well, that's just going to reach us all eventually, isn't it? Yeah, so he's messaged me and he's sent me a very good link. This is the kind of interaction that is good about doing this kind of thing. And basically what the short story is, that the box is designed as a 4-speed originally, and fifth gear is a kind of an addition that goes on the end, which is quite common in the old days. Most cars were designed as 4-speed, and fifth gear is a modification. So the 4 gears that are in the main box, the 4 speeds they sit in an oil bath, they're just lubed in a normal way. But fifth gear isn't, because it's separate in this casing thing on the end. So what it has, and I've been a long time since I've read it already, so I'm trying to remember. Oh look, I've got an SM. Can you see it? Yeah, I was trying to remember exactly what it is, but basically what it amounts to is the fifth gear is lubricated by a series of channels which have oil flicked up on them, and then they kind of collect it and it dribbles down. A bit like the kind of like when you have a pinball machine and it goes up the back and it goes, you know, like ding, 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 like that through it. It's kind of like that. It runs through these channels, and these channels get all gummed up basically with sludge. So the oil doesn't actually drain through them and land on fifth gear like it's supposed to. It gets stuck, and yeah, like a gutter that's blocked basically flows over the top, and fifth gear runs dry. So while the gearbox is out, it is recommended to pull that cover off the end and clean all those channels out. And there is one other element to it as well. I have read it. I do know how it works. I've just got to refresh myself when I go to do it. Because he's an SM guy, but that's basically the same box that's in an SM. So, or a Lotus Elise. No, not a Lotus Elise. That's bollocks. Lotus Esprit. So, yeah, so I'm going to do that. So, but I'll do that when the gearbox is on the engine. I'll also do the brakes when the gearbox is on the engine. So it's going to be the discs off that one, but all cleaned up. That flywheel was the one that came in the box. And again, I've cleaned that right up. I've kissed it with an angle grinder. And yeah, that's lovely now. So that didn't need skimming. That's good. Yeah, the discs will get the same treatment. Those ones, they'll go on there. Calipers, I don't know. I mean, Clement did drive. I know Clement was shit, don't get me wrong. We know Clement was an absolute wreck and shouldn't have been anywhere near the road, and it's an embarrassment to humanity that it was. But I drove it around the yard and the brakes did work, and I don't think they leaked. So I'm more minded to use these ones and keep those ones for refurbishment or something. So it'll be pads from that, because they've got tons of meat on them, they're good. Discs from that, because they're in better condition. Calipers from that. Gearbox mount, I'll have... What the hell? Why is the gearbox mount on that gearbox up, and on that one it's down? That's fitted upside down. Someone's taken that off and put it back in upside down, haven't they? Does that rotate? Oh, it does, right, yeah. So that's probably, I'm guessing that's not supposed to do that. So it might be the gearbox mount off Clement. But, yeah, anyway, it's all academic, it's fine. So yeah, that'll all go back on. And then as soon as I've done the 5th gear oil cup thing and the mount here and the brakes, and it's all as a powertrain, lift, dump, and then just drive out, you know. But no, it's not going to be doing that. So yeah, that's basically the plan with that. So yeah, I've got to turn all that stuff into that. So I'll update you when the next thing happens.